That housing and estate at Elmont, New York, has all of the paperwork complaints I've intelligently, formally made on behalf of my own safety to protect myself, whether it's the DA index cards, all kind of shit that substantiates I was intelligent, trying everything in my power to protect myself, because I was by myself after my father died. It didn't have no family backing me up. So before you try to say I was violent, I got a lot of paperwork, which TSI, I even got complaints against them, police reports against Paul Green, sitting in my drawers, if they still exist, where somebody didn't go in and destroy those paperwork to make sure they had the paper trail I had that shows signs of intelligence, a thinking man, because you wanted me to punch people in the face while I was on that Abilify for no reason. But I did what was right by Jeffrey. I filed formal complaints with law enforcement agencies and so forth, attorney generals here. I got documentation left and right of correspondence from these people, right? But what you did is use this hospital because I survived all of that shit and all the complaints I made with the Justice Department, what the Jew was doing to me, and TSI, to have one or two doctors say I lacked mental capacity all of a sudden, which TSI can destroy the paperwork because they can breach the. I asked Emily, the social worker, over a month ago, what is the status of that apartment? They said they got all your stuff. Paul Green, the guy who threatened me that if I took Ashley Marin to court, they were going to hit back the guy who's responsible for my care and treatment. But he said to me, that's when I got that report from the Nassau County Police Department. Who does that to a person who's a psychiatrist? We will hit you back if you decide to take legal. That's my American right if I feel like I'm not being treated. And my attorney, Oliver Roach, drafted the letter. And that's when Ashley Marin had me thrown into the psych ward for no reason. Using the Jew to say I lied, that I threatened him, while Mercy said, hell no. That we believe that Jewish guy targeted you. See, I lined my ducks up, but you're in control of the paperwork, which goes to show you about the decision-making process you want over me using psychiatry. After all that shit I dodged by saving, that's what kept me alive. All those fucking complaints, formal, that's what kept people off of me. But now there's one hospitalization where I couldn't fucking breathe no more, had respiratory issues. All of a sudden, I lacked the mental capacity to make decisions for myself. That's why I don't listen to you. And you want that paperwork to be destroyed when I'm dead, because you keep wanting to control the story, how it sounds with people. And you control the furniture in that apartment that don't belong to me, and also with my paperwork, how it's going to be handled if I'm dead, or injured, or can no longer communicate. They can easily go in there and sift through the paperwork and decide, like in my mother's writings from her nursing home, decide who sees what, and basically to make it seem like I didn't say shit. Not one, you get it? And you found some stinking ass psychiatrists here at Long Island Jewish to take seizure and control of my cell phone and every goddamn thing from me, just to prove your point that I lacked the mental capacity, and so far you had me vomit up blood and get on dialysis in my neck to have access to my paperwork back in my fucking apartment to buy time. Basically, I can't even go back to confirm that shit is still there. Based upon the Queens Hospital Center destruction of property while I was in there, trying to make it seem like I caused that shit. Like I burned down the sockets, which is why there's no electricity. You understand? You're going to try to put that shit on me. That's what you're going to try to do. Meanwhile, there was two of us that lived there at one point. You understand it? And you keep running. You federal employees keep running every day. You understand me? But that's what happened. They basically in a position, if they have not already, to switch shit around, basically, or destroy shit. They did it to my mother, Harriet Lydy Rivera, who kept documentation of how she's being treated at the Jewish nursing home. She too didn't have any control over her property at the very end. That's how they transfer us around in suspense, in limbo. We have no grounding, no foundation. We control anything pertaining to who we are and what we've been trying to say. But that's why they got me now in this hospital room and found a liability people. You understand? All the time I went to the Nassau County DA's office. All the time I filed these reports. Anything ever, you understand it? That's how gay, and you want people to feel, but you want to take away all that shit as though it's part of my imagination. You understand? Because nobody can go into that apartment except me or TSI or the police. Do you understand that? Or law enforcement. Just to control the sickness, abuse of my black, beautiful body like a fucking animal is all you want to think about. You want to use that to raise young black men, to discourage them for even attempting to do an eighth of what I fucking do and fight you back at your own game. You want everybody to be dumb, ignorant niggers. And that's the whole point. I got a fucking Bible size, almost documents and complaints. Doesn't make a difference. A lot of numbers pertaining to the Justice Department complaints, every goddamn thing. And all you want to do is take that shit away from me and play this game that I was being paranoid and whatever the case is. That's why I survived all those years. You understand? 5 out of 6. And it burns you that I was smart enough to make these logical decisions. Now that I'm here, I lack the mental capacity to have any clue when I took the trips, paid taxi drivers and people to take me to these places to file complaints on your ass. All of a sudden, I don't know what I'm doing or how to make a decision for myself because nobody from the Justice Department really met me halfway. You know what I'm saying? And took my complaints serious. And that is the problem with you blue-eyed white devil men. You stand by every goddamn day